Iceman went #1 in 136 countries on one day. Drake had the biggest streaming day of all time for a male artist with 250 million streams on May 15th. Make Them Cry now holds the record for the biggest streaming debut for a rap song in Spotify history, earning 13.2 million streams in one day. Drake said, "Y'all don't know the stamina it takes to run up the stats. My numbers are humbling facts." And he was right.
Right now, he's currently battling himself. The intro was going to project it to be #1. Second day, the Future Molly Santana song was projected to be #1. Just got announced, Janice projected to be #1. He's battling with himself. No other rapper can do what he's done. If Drake were to die today, he would be the greatest rapper of all time. Everyone would say it. And I think this album is a reminder of that.
You know what generally breaks my heart about Drake dropping 3 albums in one night? It's not that he did it. It's because he had to. When Drake dropped 3 albums as a surprise release, I was impressed. The rollout was genuinely creative. The ice sculpture in Toronto with fans hacking them apart. I mean, the marketing was impressive. The marketing was art. But then the music came on.
Rick Ross just went off on Drake on Instagram, calling him washed only hours after Drake dropped Ross's name in a crazy new song. That's the drama everybody's locked in on right now. On May 15th, 2026, Drake stunned the industry by dropping 3 albums at once: Iceman, Habibti, and Maid of Honor. No promo, no warning, just 43 tracks packed with shots at people he clearly hasn't forgotten since 2024. Rick Ross got called out, DJ Khaled caught heat, and even LeBron James got mentioned in front of the whole world. ASAP Rocky got hit with an extreme line right in a track. J. Cole caught a random shot, and Jay-Z got pulled into the mess after Drake said he'd take $500,000 over having dinner with Hav. Kendrick Lamar faced multiple diss tracks aimed straight at his image, while DeMar DeRozan also got dragged into the chaos despite his old ties to Drake in Toronto.
Sporadic enough that I felt like he was going about his day and then randomly remembered all of the bull that this nigga put me through, and now you're gonna get 4 bars. It's funny, and he's the only one that can say that. That little run you just had, I don't remember nothing you said, nigga. like he's the only. He need to come out like I said. I don't take it as victim. It's like, yo,
you
now,
still a peon to me.
You won,
you
but now that I gathered myself. Like, see, that's the thing. We pay so much attention to the bad one.
Drake made it clear he remembers every betrayal, every switch-up, and every silent move. May 15th turned into full revenge mode. Some people clapped back instantly, while others stayed completely quiet, and both reactions got people talking. May 15th, 2026. Drake throws a massive live stream in Toronto, and the whole city loses it. Fireworks lit up the sky. Cameras packed the streets, and people thought it was just another video shoot. Then right after the stream ended, boom! 3 albums landed on streaming platforms at the same time. 43 songs, 0 warning, no rollout, no promo tricks. Drake basically dropped chaos straight onto the internet. Fans instantly started breaking down lyrics because everybody knew this wasn't random. Since the Kendrick Lamar clash back in 2024, Drake's had tension with a long list of people.
Iceman opens with Make Them Cry. And for about 3 minutes, for the first time in years, he talks about his father's cancer, his battle with his label, feeling betrayed by the people he loved and respected, his age catching up with him. For 3 minutes, Drake sounds like a human being having a genuine reckoning with his own life.
He watched former friends switch up, saw industry allies move strange, and took public shots from every direction. This time, Drake came loaded with receipts. The albums felt less like music drops and more like a public call-out aimed at everybody he felt crossed him. To understand why Drake went so hard at Rick Ross, you gotta look back at their history. These two made huge records together for years. Aston Martin music, Stay Schemin', Money in the Grave, hit after hit. For over a decade, Drake and Ross looked untouchable together. Then Kendrick Lamar dropped Not Like Us, and the industry instantly split into sides. Rick Ross didn't stay neutral either. He backed Kendrick publicly and even released Champagne Moments, a diss track aimed straight at Drake. Ross got loud online too, making it clear he wasn't standing with his old collaborator anymore. Drake watched somebody he once trusted switch up in public like their history meant nothing.
Did you put Drake at your level?
No.
You're not putting Drake at your level.
No, see, you might be, I could see it in your eyes, you might be confused with the numbers and all of the fake numbers flood the marketplace, 50 something. That shit ain't nothing. Remember what I told you, the streets are the streets. If Drake was what he thought, what you think he was or what he thought he was, he would have been able to clear all the shit up, address it, and been moved on.
So, on Make Them Pay, Drake finally fired back with a line that exploded online fast. "Dog, I was aiding Ross with streams before Aiden Ross had ever streamed." That bar hit hard because it worked on two levels at once. Drake was saying he helped boost Rick Ross behind the scenes long before Aiden Ross became a huge internet name. Fans caught the wordplay immediately. Drake basically turned Ross from a rap boss into just another Ross tied to internet fame, and social media went crazy over it. Rick Ross wasted no time responding either. Just hours after the albums dropped, he jumped on Instagram and started clowning Drake hard.
Damn, Champagne Poppy, they say them songs that you just streamed off your new project, White Man, say that shit ain't dope. The comments crazy. And then Kai Cenat, shout out to Kai Cenat, he kept it real. They said Kai said that shit was ass.
Reading fan comments out loud, Ross mocked Drake supporters as the Glazer University. Then he ended it with a brutal line. "Let's all leave little mans alone now." He did it. He dropped 3 mid-projects. You're washed. But Ross kept going. He even compared Drake's Iceman album to his own upcoming project Set in Stone, dropping June 12th. Then came the line everybody reposted instantly. "Iceman melted. Stone lasts forever." That wasn't just a random jab. Ross turned the feud into promo for his next album. Speaking to Page 6, Ross doubled down again saying, "It's always diss tracks. You know Rose. That competitive spirit to me is what made hip-hop what it was." He made it clear he's ready to keep this battle going. Ross also fired shots at podcasters Rory and Mal, accusing them of protecting Drake online instead of criticizing him fairly.
But have you personally listened to every single one of the tracks in the new album?
No, I couldn't do it. It's music people that's on my team I allow them to be you could be a Drake fan if you like his music. I'm not gonna tell you, no, don't put it. We not on that type of shit. Listen to it if you want to listen to it. And I had people that listened to it. By the 5th song they came out, they was like, damn.
And the crazy part? Ross sounded ready for smoke before the albums even dropped. During a Hot 97 interview with Nessa, he confidently said, "Don't nobody fear Drake's album release. Nobody." Then Drake dropped 3 albums, and Ross responded almost instantly in the same news cycle. Now fans think this feud is only heating up, especially with Set in Stone on the way. Summer 2026 is already looking messy for hip-hop. But the DJ Khaled situation felt way more personal. This wasn't really about business or money. Drake seemed bothered by loyalty and silence when things got ugly. Drake and Khaled made huge records together for years, but during the Kendrick Lamar battle in 2024, Khaled stayed completely quiet. And to Drake, that silence clearly said a lot. The situation with DJ Khaled felt way more personal. On Make Them Pay, Drake called him out for ghosting him during the Kendrick feud. He rapped about Khaled picking a peaceful, neutral route instead of standing by his longtime collaborator. Drake even pointed out that Khaled is vocal about some major global issues, but stayed completely silent when Drake was under pressure. It was a direct shot at Khaled's loyalty, and the internet noticed immediately. Then Drake pushed things even further, suggesting Khaled speaks loudly on some topics, but stayed silent when Drake was under pressure. That's why the line hit so hard. Drake wasn't just tossing out a diss, he was openly questioning Khaled's loyalty and calling out what he saw as silence during a major moment. And the wildest part? Khaled still hasn't responded publicly. No big post, no interview, nothing direct. For somebody usually active online, that silence got noticed fast.
I'm being so serious. Let's start with Iceman. So a couple days after.
My rating fell. I had it at an 8. I got it at a 6.5. There's just too much fluff. With this songs, I'm like, this doesn't belong here. This has no purpose. There's no meaning.
I think that this is Drake's best album since Views.
Then came the LeBron James bars, and that shocked a lot of people. Drake and LeBron always looked close. Public support, same circles, OVO Fest appearances, years of friendship rumors. So when Drake targeted LeBron on Make Them Remember, the internet went crazy. Drake rapped, "You always made your career off of switching teams up." Then he added another line that had social media buzzing. "I'm a real man and he's not. It's in my DNA." The 23andMe line connected DNA testing with LeBron's famous number 23, and fans caught it instantly. Drake seemed to question LeBron's authenticity while using the switching teams angle as more than just a basketball joke. Social media immediately started debating whether Drake pushed things too far with that bar. What really got people talking was the deeper meaning behind it all.
15 new music videos. The cover art, Michael Jackson's glove, which he bought, his actual glove. People didn't notice the Iceman friendship bracelet. Whose whole shit is friendship bracelets? Taylor Swift.
During the Kendrick Lamar fallout, Drake and LeBron moved in the same celebrity circles, so fans felt Drake wasn't just talking about sports arenas. He was talking about loyalty, public support, and choosing sides when the pressure got heavy. Drake basically hinted that LeBron stays wherever the situation benefits him most, which made the diss feel way more personal. Then, on National Treasures, Drake appeared to throw another shot tied to Toronto basketball history. "Why did we think you could get us a ring?" That line hit hard for Raptors fans because LeBron spent years dominating Toronto before leaving Cleveland for other teams. Drake turned old basketball frustration into part of the current drama, making the whole situation feel even bigger than rap beef. And just like Khaled, LeBron still hasn't responded publicly, which only made the internet talk louder. Things got even messier once ASAP Rocky entered the drama. The tension between Drake and Rocky has always seemed connected to Rihanna. Drake and Rihanna had years of rumors, chemistry, and public moments before she eventually built a family with Rocky. Ever since then, fans kept wondering how Drake really felt behind the scenes. On Burning Bridges, Drake finally turned that energy into music. He rapped, "Your baby mama ain't even post your single. Damn, where's she at?"
You see, Drake keeps telling us that he's evolving. This is his new Drake, and that the old Drake is gone. He said it countless times in this sassy, unapologetic era that we're in with him. And let's be real, creatively Drake is not operating at the same level as an Outkast or Kendrick Lamar or Kanye West. He's not really the type to vouch for his art. You have to remember, Drake is an executor. He assesses the musical landscape and builds a high-rise in the middle of a hot neighborhood. In fact, it's actually a genius business model.
Fans instantly connected it to Rihanna and Rocky. Drake pointed at the fact Rihanna didn't publicly promote Rocky's music online and flipped that small detail into a very public jab. But things escalated even more on Firm Friends. That's where Drake dropped an incredibly dark line, hitting Rocky with the ultimate internet insult by telling him to crash out and end it all. He spelled it out directly, leaving zero confusion about who the message targeted. Drake made those shots impossible to misunderstand and clearly wanted everything out in the open. Meanwhile, Rocky has mostly stayed focused on family life and music. So far, he hasn't publicly responded, but fans already believe this situation is far from over. Then Drake turned toward J. Cole, and that tension carried a whole different energy. Cole is one of the most respected names in hip-hop, but fans still remember what happened during the Kendrick and Drake drama back in 2024. At first, Cole dropped 7-minute drill, and people thought the Big Three battle was finally happening. Social media exploded, fans picked sides, and everybody expected a full rap war. But then Cole pulled the track, apologized publicly, and stepped away from the conflict. Later, he started speaking about peace while the drama kept getting bigger around him. A lot of fans saw that move as Cole backing out, and Drake clearly never forgot it. On Make Them Pay and Make Them Remember, Drake rapped, "I could have fell back like the married rapper, but we engaged."
10 years since he's done an album this well. I think that this is album of the year. There's so many bars. There's a lot of layers to unpeel, and there's a lot of maturity. Where he was saying things that he usually doesn't say. That intro is his best intro of any album. Addressing everything that we wanted him to address. 3 beat switches. There's so much just in the intro. And then it goes into slap after slap. The most quotable lines we've seen in years. Keeps reiterating Iceman, Ice, Ice. He's playing into the character. The intro, the outro is structured. The rollout is probably his best rollout he's ever done. Paid $15 million, 75 projectors to freeze the CN Tower in Toronto. 15 music videos out right now, available immediately after the album dropped.
Fans instantly took that as a shot at Cole choosing peace while Drake stayed in the fight. Then Drake added more pressure with another line. There was too many chefs in the kitchen. He followed it with a darker bar about standing firm instead of backing down, and fans immediately started debating who else he was targeting. Drake clearly painted himself as the one who stayed in the fight while others backed away. In his view, J. Cole had the talent, respect, and status to compete, but still chose peace once the pressure got serious. Drake stayed active through the chaos, and he's using that difference to separate himself from Cole publicly and emotionally. Cole still hasn't responded directly, but fans know he usually speaks through music instead of social media. If he answers, people expect something calculated and carefully written. Then Drake took things even further by bringing up Jay-Z. That shocked a lot of people because Jay isn't treated like a regular rapper. Many see him as hip-hop royalty, and most artists avoid direct tension with him completely. But on Iceman, Drake sounded frustrated with older rap figures he believes stayed silent during major moments. On Janice STFU, he rapped, "We know how you OGs rocking already? The jig is up." Fans instantly linked that line to Jay-Z and other veteran names. Drake rapped, "I'll take $500,000, not the dinner. I never could learn shit from none of y'all." That line instantly stunned people because Drake basically brushed off Jay-Z's advice, influence, and status in one shot.
It surpasses Kendrick Lamar's Not Like Us, which was about Drake. Iceman debuted with 140.2 million first-day streams, which is the second biggest opening behind Certified Lover Boy, also Drake.
A few years ago, saying that publicly about Jay-Z would have sounded impossible in rap culture, but Drake delivered it with zero hesitation. The disrespect felt completely intentional. Drake clearly wanted reactions, headlines, and non-stop debate online. He wanted everybody to know he isn't scared of any name in the industry, no matter how powerful they are. Then Drake added even more tension by mentioning streams mysteriously disappearing while nobody questioned it. Fans quickly connected that to old streaming rumors tied to the Kendrick Lamar fallout. Some listeners took it as Drake hinting that powerful people in the industry may have worked against him behind the scenes. Jay-Z still hasn't responded publicly, which honestly isn't surprising since he rarely jumps into drama quickly. But fans already know if things ever escalate between Drake and Jay-Z, the situation would become massive. And at the center of almost all this chaos sits the Kendrick Lamar feud from 2024. On Dust, Drake went straight at Kendrick Lamar's music and image with zero hesitation. He rapped, "What was the year you said you had slaps? 'Cause I don't remember it going like that." Then he added, "I don't remember one word of your raps," taking direct aim at Kendrick's impact and replay value. Then Drake shifted toward Kendrick's fanbase with a line that instantly sparked debate online. "White kids listen to you 'cause they feel some guilt." Fans argued over that bar immediately because Drake seemed to question both Kendrick's audience and the sincerity behind his message. Drake kept pushing with another pointed line. "Handing out turkeys on camera inside of your hood, then you go back to the hills." He appeared to accuse Kendrick of carefully managing a public image that doesn't fully match his private lifestyle. Then on 1 a.m. in Albany, Drake brought back jokes about Kendrick's height. And Muggsy Bogues dunked for once. Since Bogues famously stood at 5 feet 3 inches, fans instantly understood the comparison. Drake even flipped Kendrick's own, "What is it, the braids?" line back at him, turning one of Kendrick's viral moments into another shot in the feud. Drake even addressed Kendrick's owl imagery directly, rapping, "The owl never sees the cage. The owl only wakes up to seize the day." That line made one thing clear. Drake still refuses to accept the idea that he lost the Kendrick battle.
Drake now holds 8 out of the top 10 most streamed rap songs of all time. 8 out of the top 10. 8 of the songs are his. Humbling. Make Them Cry is now Spotify's most streamed song out of all genres of the year. And it only took 1 day to do it. And I just thought this one was fun. Molly Santana gained 7.3 million monthly listeners. She was on one song on the album.
Across these albums, he keeps trying to reshape the story through the music itself. And whether people agree or not, he's clearly still fully locked into this feud. And Drake didn't stop with the biggest names either. DeMar DeRozan caught shots on National Treasures, which surprised a lot of fans. As a former Raptors star deeply tied to Toronto, DeRozan's name carries weight in the city. Drake seemed to criticize the era when fans believed DeRozan could lead Toronto to a championship before the team eventually moved on. Then Drake turned toward producer Mustard, who helped create Not Like Us, the song heavily linked to Drake's public fallout with Kendrick. On Too Hard for the Radio, Drake rapped, "Mustard heard about us. Gotta catch up to the slaps." Fans saw it as Drake downplaying Mustard's recent success while reminding listeners about older hits connected to YG and his own circle. Drake also appeared to send shots at Pharrell Williams. Fans connected lines about Virginia and chains directly to Pharrell because of his Virginia Beach roots and longtime Roc Nation ties. A lot of listeners took those bars as Drake hinting Pharrell quietly picked a side during all the industry tension. But this situation became way bigger than simple diss tracks. What Drake did on May 15, 2026, felt nothing like a normal album rollout. 3 albums, 43 songs, all dropped in one night. The whole move felt designed to prove he still belongs at the top after one of the most difficult public moments of his career. Instead of going quiet, Drake came back firing at almost everybody tied to the fallout. Former friends, collaborators, producers, athletes, and longtime rivals all at once. The reactions exploded immediately. Rick Ross called Drake washed and already teased more diss tracks coming in June. Online, fans split into complete chaos. Some people think Drake overloaded the albums with drama, while others say this is exactly the aggressive energy they wanted from him after 2024. Meanwhile, Kendrick Lamar, Jay-Z, and LeBron James still haven't responded publicly, and that silence became part of the story too. Whether every diss landed or not, Drake made sure the entire culture was paying attention again. Drake spent 2 years keeping score. Every betrayal, every public moment, every person who switched sides, he remembered all of it. And when he finally returned, it didn't feel like a normal comeback album. It felt like Drake dropped a full case file on everybody involved. Now fans are waiting to see who responds next. Rick Ross already hinted June 12th could bring another round once his album drops. And if bigger names answer back, this summer could get even crazier. But this story goes way beyond who won or lost. The bigger discussion is what this whole moment says about hip-hop culture. Over the last 2 years, Drake became the center of non-stop jokes online. Not Like Us turned into a huge anthem. Kendrick performed on massive stages worldwide, and Drake watched the public narrative shift away from him. At the same time, former collaborators and people Drake once supported seemed to publicly move toward other sides. That pressure clearly built up. So instead of dropping one focused diss track, Drake unloaded 43 songs aimed at almost everybody at once. That's why some fans see this less as a normal rap move and more like Drake trying to completely take back control of the conversation. Drake also seems to be opening so many battles at once that no single response can dominate the spotlight. That might be the real strategy behind this rollout. If Kendrick responds, there are already multiple other feuds happening at the same time. If Rick Ross drops more diss tracks in June, Drake's camp can treat it like just another piece of the chaos instead of the main event. That's why the massive size of the release feels intentional. The overload itself became part of the strategy. Still, a lot of people online think Drake stretched himself too thin by targeting so many names at once. And honestly, many fans understand that criticism too. But that might have been Drake's plan the whole time. Instead of creating one massive showdown like the 2024 Kendrick battle, he spread the attention across multiple feuds at once. Now fans are arguing over different lyrics, different targets, and different meanings everywhere online. While everybody debates separate beefs, Drake stays at the center of every conversation at the same time. One thing is becoming obvious. Drake understands how to control attention better than almost anybody in the industry. Even after taking huge public hits in 2024, he found a way to flip the fallout into a massive rollout. What many people thought would slow him down instead turned into one of the boldest album drops rap has seen in years. Drake turned pressure into non-stop controversy, discussion, and headlines across the culture. Now all eyes are locked on summer 2026. Rick Ross already confirmed his project drops June 12th, and fans expect even more direct shots once it arrives. The big question is whether Ross can deliver something strong enough to seriously shake Drake's position, or if it'll feel like just another reaction in an already crowded feud. Ross definitely has the talent, but Drake still controls massive streaming numbers and one of the strongest fan bases in music. And then there's Kendrick Lamar, the biggest wild card in all of this. Kendrick Lamar still hasn't said a single word, and that silence has the whole internet guessing. Either he feels completely confident after the 2024 battle and thinks Drake's new albums aren't worth responding to, or he's quietly building something huge behind the scenes for the perfect moment. And with Kendrick, nobody ever really knows until the music suddenly drops. But if Kendrick does answer back, this could turn into one of the biggest rap rivalries ever. Multiple albums, non-stop tension, and two giant artists refusing to back down. Fans are already treating this like more than simple diss tracks because the drama now feels tied to the entire culture surrounding hip-hop. No matter how people feel about Drake, one thing became impossible to ignore after May 15th, 2026. He proved he's still active, still competitive, and still ready to take shots at anybody standing in his way. Love him or hate him, everybody is watching again. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to like, subscribe, share the video, and drop a comment below with your thoughts on this whole situation. Who do you think responds next?